Mariners transfer news. Hey guys, my name's Lockie. This is Coast Watch Football, where we talk all things Central Coast Mariners. We've had a number of departures from the club in the past week, and one possible rumoured signing on social media from the Central Coast Mariners. So we'll first of all chat about the departures. We'd love to hear from you guys. What do you make of some of these big names that are leaving the club? Last week we had a bunch of departures announced, but the big one that was announced just today, Mikael Doka has left the Central Coast Mariners. This has been spoken about a little bit online in recent days. It has been officially confirmed now by Ventforet Kofu, the Japanese club. They're currently in the J2 League, the second division in Japan. Mikael Doka joining the club on loan. This article coming from Ventforet Kofu's official website. Now, this has been translated to English by Google. It says, we are pleased to announce that Mikael Doka will join the team on loan from Central Coast Mariners. It says he will join the team today, July 2nd. So that's the key thing, loan. And as it says here on the website, down the bottom here, loan period, July 1, 2025 to December 31, 2025. So it is just a 6-month loan move for Mikael Doka. I think there was some concern that he would be leaving the club on a permanent deal when these rumours began to arise that he was departing the Mariners, especially considering that Mikael Doka still has 2 more seasons left on his contract. He's contracted until the end of the 2026-27 season. Just a 6-month loan here. It's going to be interesting to see what the thinking is from Central Coast Mariners with this deal. Obviously, it's a huge loss. Mikael Doka, I think we can all agree, was our best player overall in the past A-League season, and it's obviously going to weaken our squad with him departing for, the first few months of the season. We know our next competitive fixture isn't going to be until October, we expect, when the A-League men's season will kick off. So it'll be just over a couple months that Mariners will be without Mikael Doka. You just wonder whether it's maybe a financial decision. We don't know the details of this loan, but you'd imagine the Ventforet Kofu will be covering some wages. I wonder if that's part of the thinking for Central Coast Mariners. We know at this current point in time, there's a lot of speculation in regards to what's happening with the ownership situation at the Mariners. But again, there's pure speculation there on that situation. So Mikael Doka joining Ventforet Kofu in the J2 League. A big loss for the Mariners for the first few months of the season. And following up on the news announced last week, 26th of June, Central Coast Mariners officially announced the departure of a number of players, and it's headlined by Alou, who leaves the club despite having 1 year left on his contract. Alou was a key player for Central Coast Mariners over the past couple seasons, and of course his highlight surely has to be that winning goal in the 2024 AFC Cup final to help Mariners lift the trophy there in that competition, creating history for the club. Look, we wish these guys all the best going forward. All this coming from Central Coast Mariners official website. Central Coast Mariners can today confirm the departure of Alou, who moves on to a new opportunity in his career. Now, there has been a lot of talk online that Alou could be on his way to Western Sydney Wanderers. It'll be tough to see Alou, who spent 2 separate stints at Central Coast Mariners, playing for a close rival in Western Sydney Wanderers. It is a little bit worrying that this article hasn't addressed the fact that Alou did have another year on his contract. When he joined the club, he joined on a 3-year deal. So we don't know if it's a mutual termination of his contract, which we do sometimes see in the A-League. The club can also today confirm Noah Smith, Will Wilson, Sash Kozewski have all departed the club upon the expiry of their contracts, while Jack Wachowski has taken up an opportunity in the NPL. And for a lot of these guys, they were just struggling to get game time. I mean, Noah Smith spent 2 separate spells at Central Coast Mariners, and I'm surprised that he didn't get more game time, especially in the past season. Same thing with Will Wilson. He came in for a couple games. I remember he featured on New Year's Eve. We just did not see enough of Will Wilson this season, despite some promising glimpses here and there. Sasha Kozewski is obviously someone who has spent many years at the club, came through the academy, and it was great to see him finally make a breakthrough in the first team this past season, get some regular minutes in the team. And Jack Wachowski as well. Going forward, it looks like that Jack Wachowski was going to be the 3rd choice goalkeeper at Central Coast Mariners. Still young and with a whole lot of potential, Jack Wachowski, and I'm sure he's got a very bright future. But you've got Adam Pavlicic, who's still contracted at the club, and of course Dylan Perech-Cullen, who had a real breakout season for the Mariners last year. And we'll finish off looking at this post from Central Coast Mariners. Now, at the time of this recording, this signing hasn't been confirmed, but a lot of fans believe that this is goalkeeper Andrew Redmayne. This move has been spoken about for a few weeks now. I believe it was Marco Monteverde a few weeks ago who mentioned that Andrew Redmayne could be on his way to the Mariners from Sydney FC. He departed the Sky Blues at the end of last season, and he fell out of favour at Sydney FC. Harrison Devonish Mears took over as their starting goalkeeper Redmayne was sitting a lot on the bench for a lot of last season. But it looks like Andrew Redmayne, former Socceroos goalkeeper, could be returning to the Central Coast. It would be quite incredible to see him return to the Mariners. But as this post says from Central Coast Mariners, the Mariners, a connection that runs deep. And as you can see there, the shirt and the glimpse of the beard, that hints to many fans that that could possibly be Andrew Redmayne. It would be an interesting move for the club, given that Dylan Perech-Cullen, who's still a teenager, in a real breakout season for the Mariners last year. And overall, I was really impressed with Dylan Perech-Cullen, considering his age, considering that we didn't really expect him to be given that chance as the starting goalkeeper. I'm curious to see what the setup is going to be now going forward for the Mariners in regards to the goalkeeping situation. I do like Andrew Redmayne, and I think if he's coming to the Mariners, you probably expect him to be the starting goalkeeper. Is that going to affect the development of Dylan Perech-Cullen? Or who knows, maybe there's a move on the cards for Dylan Perech-Cullen. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, whether, Redmayne would settle for a place on the bench with Dylan Perech-Cullen getting minutes. Again, I think Dylan Perech-Cullen, if you told me that he was going to be Mariners starting goalkeeper going forward for this upcoming season, I'd be cool with that too. As I mentioned, he's just going to get better and better. Last season was a huge season for him, and he's just going to keep learning and improving. So I'd love to hear from you guys. How do you feel about the potential Andrew Redmayne signing? If he does join, who do you want to see start? Perech-Cullen or Andrew Redmayne? Experience versus youth. And what do you make of all those departures as well? Mikael Doka leaving on a 6-month loan. Alou Kuol departing despite being contracted, while Noah Smith, Will Wilson, Sash Gazewski, and Jack Wachowski all depart the Mariners. We'll keep you guys up to date to all Mariners transfer news right here on the channel. Thanks very much for tuning in. Hit the like button on the way out. My name's Lockie, and I'll see you in the next one.